All right, for topic number two, um, I want to talk about PlayStation. I want to talk about PlayStation being well, basically it's where it's at now, Sony PlayStation, and where it's going, and the state of PS5, oh, and
State of
PS6.
play, yes.
Yes, a state of play and PS6. What's going on there? Um, I know you don't have a lot to say about consoles, but I want to hear your take on this. I want to hear what you think about what's been going on with the console warring and PlayStation and Xbox and what's going on with that. What do you think? What's your thoughts on all that?
Yeah, I do very much hate consoles,
Yes, yes.
PlayStation especially, because for these past couple of years or whatever, PlayStation had shown that they really don't give a shit about anyone, huh? Except that sweet money that they care
Mm,
about.
I
That's
think
what
I
they
think a
do.
lot of companies are like that. A lot of companies. Go ahead.
Yeah, but at least some companies have a decency to not openly beg for it.
Right.
Let's say that much. And PlayStation, this part clearly doesn't have that decency. But in general, I mean, I do have some experience with the consoles. If anything, the PlayStation is the console that I had most experience with. I used to have
Okay.
a PlayStation 3.
A
I
three.
played a
Yeah.
couple
Well, three
played a couple
wasn't.
games there.
Three wasn't. It's. Let's just say three was a downfall for the PlayStation. I think not. Well, I'll talk about what I think later. But yeah, go ahead. What were you saying?
Yeah, I suppose, but at that time, the only thing I cared about, I guess, playing the games because I didn't have a great PC there. So I guess in that sense,
Hmm.
if you view the console wars and how that relates to PC, for example, that if you don't have a good PC or you really struggling there, consoles could be just an alternative for that. But
Hmm.
if but even then, honestly, PC would be a better choice regardless. But yeah, PlayStation 3, I also played on a decent much. Now that I remember, on the PlayStation 2 also.
Yeah.
Those were great times, I guess. But I guess that the point is that, right, if you don't have a PC, I guess the second best choice is the consoles in that sense.
Yeah.
But now the PlayStation 4, I haven't had that much experience, but I mean, it was one of the greatest PlayStations out there, clearly, which which
Yes.
placed
Yes. Yes.
placed the PlayStation on top and
Hmm.
made it what it known now for even still. But considering what's happening with the PlayStation 5 now
Oh.
and how that thing those things go, it's very
Um,
much, well, how do I put it? Uh, you know,
not
it's quite an
performing to.
embarrassment, really.
Yeah. Yeah. Not
For,
performing
for,
to its
for yeah.
predecessor. Right. Let's just say.
But to add to that, I guess yeah, these generations of consoles are quite embarrassment, really. But also
Hmm.
the
I
times are
agree.
really different. So
I agree.
it's very much it's kind of a problem of both, I guess. PlayStation maybe came out at a time that they shouldn't have, or maybe it should have even skipped the whole generation whatsoever like that. Considering the times with the COVID and
Yeah.
the gaming industry, how games are got disrupted, their schedules, and how at the end of the day, PlayStation 5 released, well,
Yeah.
at least PlayStation 5 released without any games, to show for it.
Yeah.
And even to this day, I get again, all things considered, with the schedule of game development, chances are they're not gonna have any games until the next generation. So
Yeah.
also,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and so in that sense,
and what?
PlayStation 5 looks like a fucking embarrassment.
And what do you think about them going third party? What do you think about that?
And that part, right? It kind of goes back to the PlayStation's love for money.
Oh
There
yeah.
was this
Oh yeah.
the news the other day about PlayStation, openly and happily admitting that they decided to focus on the live service.
Hmm.
And if you know anything about how games work and a little bit, I guess, about game industry. What PlayStation did back then, announcing that having that proud announcement of going live service like that. They basically said that we don't care about games, and we don't really care about people, you people who play those games or
Yeah.
who use our services. All we want is quick buck and quick
Yep.
cash,
Oh yeah.
and that's what we're gonna focus on,
Yeah. Yeah.
and because that's what live service games are.
Yeah.
They really are manufactured cash
Oh.
cows.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
And for PlayStation to to be focused on that part really tells you a lot about their
Yeah.
mentalities and views on how things should be. And
Mm.
now going third party like that, even though especially again with that announcement, as much as PlayStation did it, they did it kind of late because they kind of did it at that point where people already start getting tired of that
Yeah.
exact live service games, and and
Agree.
PlayStation comes swinging happily saying that, hey
With
guys,
with
you ti-
Concord.
you right, yeah, you tired of that shit? Guess what? We have more coming, guys. And and they did it. Point is that they did it kind of late.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
they really wanted to capitalize on that stuff, they should have done it like 4 years ago. Right
Yeah.
when the probably COVID hits, because should have fucking realized that this is about the time where you should capitalize on on the cash cows like that.
Yeah.
And guess what? Having a PlayStation and going third party like that, again, situation exactly the same. The reason third party system like that, I guess, just look at Xbox. It's really about making the money,
Yeah.
and there's nothing wrong about that. But I do believe, and we all kind of hope that gaming is a kind of a more than just corporate fucking greed,
Oh yeah.
and there's more to it, a little decency, a little integrity,
Yeah.
as they call it. But yeah, even though PlayStation doing that, and we all know for the exact reasons why they do it for. Problem is, it's kind of again a little late because they should have done it again the same time about that. Xbox decided to focus on that because look at Xbox now. They very much
Yeah.
not to say ahead of the game, but they they're doing fine. And as much as you can complain, you can very much say that PlayStation is just copying the Xbox at this point
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
decide to go third party like that.
Yeah.
And in that sense, I guess well, we're pretending to be gamers at least, right?
Yeah.
Ralph.
Yeah.
And we do enjoy, because that will PlayStation going third party will represent that we have more access to those games that used to be locked in behind the $600 DVD box.
Yep.
But now we will have access to them, at least probably partial access, because at the end of the day, PlayStation is a company, again, contrasting to Xbox, it's very much a company that sells hardware, not necessarily a software.
Yeah.
Xbox is a Microsoft selling Microsoft software. That's
Software,
what they're
yeah.
selling. Like,
That's
yeah,
that's what they did.
and games technically can be considered very much a software, and that's what they do, and that's what they focus on. But PlayStation, they very much selling you the console itself, not necessarily the software that comes with it. But now, suppose
Times
they
has changed.
expanding, yeah, times have changed, and they do being forced to expand their reach to keep up with the demand, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah. Well said. Well said. Same. For me, just gonna piggyback off what you said. I do play on consoles. I just recently, a couple years ago, switched over to playing on PC more. I just got my first PC thanks to V recommending a PC for me, and I'm always open. You know that I'm always open-minded to try anything. And it was one of the best choices I've ever done as a gamer. I gotta say. So I tip my hat to you on that one.
Now he knows.
Oh yeah, now I know. Now I know.
Should have done it
I-
ages ago.
I'm always that guy that what's going on over there? Why is everyone always talking about that? Why is everybody always hyping this up? What is it going? I want a piece of that pie. What's going on? So I went for it. I went for it, and
Yeah,
one of the best
just
decisions.
like PlayStation, want to have that good stuff.
Yeah. So I just jumped into the PC realm, and I'm still learning. I'm always on top of asking V, hey V, how do you do this? How do you do that? What am I doing wrong? What settings do I use? What is this and that? You know, using you as a instruction manual.
The casual grandson and son experience. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I'll give you that one for PC. But for console, I would have to say, I got the PS5 day one. I'm gonna tell you guys that I got a PS4 day one as well. Well, I don't think day one. I think I got it like a couple weeks later or whatever. Yeah, but day one. And then I got, when my PS4 got messed up, I got a PS4 Pro. I took it right around the same time that it got messed up. It sounded like a jet taking off. I was like, that's it, it's over. And I didn't want to turn back on. And I was like, okay, that was the PS4 standard. So I went for the PS4 Pro. And actually today I just sold it. So I said goodbye to it it was good memories with the PS4. PS4 is my favorite console from the PlayStation era, from all the PlayStations, PS3 and PS4. I am highly disappointed in the PS5. I'm very, very disappointed. You know that about me. It was like, seriously, it was like a PS4 Pro.
PS scam. That's what they call
Yeah,
it.
It was very disappointing. I was like, what is going on? Like, as a gamer that played all the PS4 games, going into the PS5, they really didn't have anything for me. Like, they just the loading screens were faster, a little bit better graphics, and that's about it, man. And I even like the controller of the PS4 better than the PS5. I was more comfortable with that one. I think that's one of the best controllers, if not the best controller that I've ever held in my hand. I can argue the GameCube controller is right there, right with it. I love the GameCube controller. I love the and the new Nintendo Switch 2 controller is amazing too. But yeah, like, very disappointed. I played everything, bro. I played God of War, Spider-Man. I played The Last of Us. I tried Horizon Forbidden West. It wasn't my cup of tea. And I tried it like 3 times, bro. So I know that I didn't like it. I didn't play Ratchet and Clank because Ratchet and Clank, I don't know, it felt like too much was going on there. I tried it as well, but I didn't try the new one. I didn't go with it as much as I thought I was gonna go with it. Everybody said the game is amazing, but I don't know. Well, you were gonna say something, V?
Oh, well, since you're talking about games, I might as well mention the infamous Astrobot game.
Oh, the Astrobot, yeah. Oh my god. So the Astrobot, like, I didn't even take 2 looks at it. I just saw it. I played Astro's Playroom, which was the one that came with the PlayStation. It was like a mini version of the game. It was like a mini little tester to test all the quirks that the PS5 has. And I was like, okay, I played it a little bit, and no, that wasn't my cup of tea either. So I was like, yeah, it's fine. It's cool. What the controller can do with the haptic feedback and all of that other stuff. Yeah, it's fine and everything. But where the game's at, man? And that's all I've been saying this whole generation is where the game's at, man. Where are the games? I feel like, seriously, we didn't get much from PlayStation 5, and they're already talking about PlayStation 6. I was disappointed with Spider-Man 2. I think it was Spider-Man 1 and Miles Morales was way better than Spider-Man 2. You even get to play with Venom, and it was cool playing with Venom, but then it was like, it got kind of tiring. You understand? Like, God of War, the sequel to the original, the 2018 one, it was good, really, really good. I'm a God of War fan. I played all of the God of Wars, same as Devil May Cry. I played all the Devil May Cry games. Those are my favorites. But this God of War kind of like was like it was like an add-on. It was like more like a big DLC. You know what I mean? Like, it's a continuation of the story. It was just like, okay, let's continue. And there they added here and there. The game was pretty good, but it was also on PS4. So did I have to get a PS5? No. I could have played that on the PS4. So overall, I think I got the PS4, the PS5 because of the hype of COVID and all that other stuff. And I've been telling my friends and everything, and they know me. They've been telling my friends, and I told you this countless times, that the PS5 was a letdown from jump. Year 2 on PS5, I was already like, I know what's going on, and these guys aren't coming out with anything. They're literally not coming out with nothing at all. They're slacking, they're wasting a lot of money, and they're not coming out with nothing. And that's when they were focusing on live service games, which all got canceled. And let's not talk about the elephant in the room, which is Concord, flopping like crazy. Did you even get to play Concord? It was on PC.
Really.
It was on PC. But
I think
what?
yeah.
You told me that you
I'm
kind of
not.
like how it looked.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, I do have a very controversial opinion about that. Is that probably not with Conquer. It's not really the game itself. That's what they say. It was how you say it. It was a hero shooter for the fatigue
Yeah.
that kind of failed it. But I don't really believe that. I just believe that that whole aesthetics of it. The way they present this whole world that they build and whatever. That was the turning point of that game. But
Yeah.
let it let us know what you think in the comments. Yes, 'cause,
Yes. Yes. Definitely.
I definitely Concord was something special in the gaming in general, and coming from not other than PlayStation themselves. Well, I guess that tells you much about the what they their views, I guess. And right, I was about to add that PlayStation 5 when it was released, and as far as I remember, they didn't show any games really
No, they didn't. They didn't.
as a as a launching titles for that console. And I think that should have been a very good sign for everyone to know that this ain't going nowhere, because games they do take a very decent time, especially right now. You'd think that with all the advancements in technologies, with same AI coming along, it'd be so much, that's what people say, so much easier to make those games. But turns out kind of it's kind of the opposite of what's happening, is that games take take even more time now than they before. And now
Yeah, and
they
it costs
cost
more. Costs way more.
right, way
Yeah.
more than before. And what happened in the PlayStation 5 is that they didn't show any games, not even teasers they showed. And what that means is that and that's a launch title, that's a launch date when they
Yeah.
presented all of that. And if
Yeah.
they didn't show any games in none of the teasers, well, guess what? Because they don't have them. And
Yeah.
to have
No.
them in the first place, it's gonna take years to make them in the first place.
Yeah,
So
I called it.
what happened is,
Go ahead.
yes.
Go ahead.
So what happened then is that at the starting date of a release of PlayStations, there was no games in the first place. So
Yeah.
then to make a game, at least one game, at least decent game, it takes a minimum of 3 years. And
Mhm.
and usually you ain't making PlayStation ain't making 10 games at the same time. They making maybe 3-4 games, 5 at max. And if they like it, I guess, if they got all their logistics together.
Yeah.
But starting from that day of a release PlayStation, there was no games, and to make those games, it's gonna take another 5 years. So what's happening is that you're looking at the timeline of about 10 years, maybe 8 years
And that
of
would and that will fall right
have
into
it
the PS6. That would fall right into the
exactly
PS6.
of
Which
having at least some games, and then
which
at that point it's
yeah.
already a new generation's coming.
Yeah, which
So
is skipping the PS5 basically. You're
yeah,
basically
yes,
skipping,
exactly.
because what they're doing is
And
like they're just like, cancel all these live service. What are we doing next? Okay, these are the games that are coming up next, but they're way off from releasing, and we might as well just start working on the PS6 port of it instead of working on the PS5 port. Even though in the beginning I think the games are gonna come out for both PS5 and PS6, but those games were made to be for PS4, for PS5, not PS6. So now you have to wait longer for the PS6 games,
yeah,
because that's what's happening. It's like we're now finally 5 years into the console, and we're now finally getting PS5 games, sort of, right? Because they're not exclusive to PlayStation. It wasn't made by PlayStation. I'm just saying they're using the power of the PlayStation and the Xbox now more than the beginning, when they were just dropping ports of the PS4 and the Xbox One.
exactly.
And
Considering now that they're going third party at this point, you
yes,
might as well not even consider those a PlayStation game.
no,
I'm sure they gonna have it, maybe as a timed exclusives. Maybe some of the games will be remain as a constant
Yeah,
exclusive on the console. But at this point,
like
you know,
one of my favorite YouTubers, Alex, says, it's the console war is over, and it's now the platform wars, and who is now going to bring it, platform wise, like who's gonna do their part, like who's gonna the ecosystem and all of that. You and I talked about how PlayStation eventually is gonna come out with an app for the PC, and it's gonna drop all their games there, and they're probably gonna leave the games on Steam as well, but I think they're gonna focus on that app, just like Xbox did. Um, and them going third party, that's the best thing I think for them. I think that's the best thing for everybody. I think all games should go everywhere, and just put that logo there that you say this is an Xbox game, or this is a PlayStation game, so people can know. Of course, they're gonna do that, so people can know what kind of a game you're playing. Like same thing as Ubisoft does, same thing as EA does. They put their logo on it and they say, hey, look, this is a Ubisoft game, this is a PlayStation game, this is an Xbox game, and that's how you're gonna differentiate both games. Like Gears of War is about to come out. And people are gonna play this on PlayStation finally. It's also the first time I think it's releasing on PC as well. Gears of War, the first one. So if you want, we can get on that if you want. It will be on Game Pass as well.
right. Right. Speaking of those, I guess, how do you say, the logos you mentioned, right?
Mhm.
That's kind of how things are and how things kind of try to be. That take a because I'm a big PC gamer and I use Steam, and honestly, that's all I really need to use. But
Yes.
in a PC gaming, there exists launchers. It's kind of a big problem here if you really want to get into it. That there's a lot of launchers there. And back in the day, when it's all started, companies like Blizzard or again same Ubisoft, which I very much love, or EA, starting to have their own launchers for no
Oh
particular
yeah, yeah,
reasons,
yeah. That's what I'm
starting to
saying.
separate
Yeah.
from same, I guess, Steam, to try to combat it. In a sense, it's monopoly over games like that. But that's the thing. or take again, I guess, you
Yeah.
know one of
That's
probably would be one of the closest competitors to Steam, besides Xbox, would be Epic Game Store.
yeah.
Well, guess what? I'm sure people, I guess, general people don't care about which launcher and this and that, but I do care really, and I don't want to. I don't want to fucking have those launchers on my PC. And matter of
Yeah.
fact,
I mean,
I
it's
do. I do take, for example, like Assassin's Creed games, and I kind of, have a willing desire to play them at some point. But problem is that they're on a Ubisoft launcher. Even if I get those games on Steam, I have to, the
sign into
Ubisoft launcher
Ubisoft.
will be,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh
yes,
man, the headache that I have with Assassin's Creed Shadows. That I play on my handheld, the Steam Deck, and I'm doing all the side missions now that I finished it. I have it on PC, of course. Every single time I have to come back home with the progress that I had when I was on the go, to come home, and I have to turn it on, exit, save go back in, save it, sign in, go, get out, go to my PC, sign in, load it, see if it loaded up. And it was like so many times where it didn't load up, or it didn't save, or it didn't, like, because I had to sign into Ubisoft. It was such a headache. It even one time it even like locked me out of the freaking thing, and I was like, I want to play. What the freak? So
yes.
that was very frustrating. But any other game that I played on my Steam Deck, going in, going out, and then coming back home, it's like flawless. Like I would like turn it off, turn on my PC. My PC will know the progress that I made, load it up, and continue from there. So um, it was such a headache, and I understand exactly what you're saying when it comes from those launchers, man. It's like, wow, bro.
Right, and my point is that to relate that to PlayStation, is that PlayStation probably gonna have exactly the same system here. They're gonna have their own launcher. They have their own system
Yeah, it
that
makes
if
sense.
you want to play their game, you have to download their launcher and log
Yeah,
into that.
it makes perfect
And I
sense.
Right, and I, as a PC gamer, refuse to do that. So in that sense, right, as with Ubisoft games or EA games, I guess
Yeah,
in the
I
same way, or Blizzard games, I guess.
yeah
What I do is that I choose to not to play them. Simple as that. If
yeah
they're not on Steam and I have to download like take an Epic Game Store, even if the game is on Epic Game Store, I'm a big fan, for example, on the of the Borderlands. And what the Epic did, since it's their IP,
yeah.
the Gearbox own them, they had when they released the latest Borderlands, they had it exclusive on the Epic Games Store.
All
And
right.
since I'm a big fan, I did buy it right there, and then, but it was the greatest mistake in my entire life, because because it was so inconvenient to download this launcher and
Yeah.
uh, you know and go back and forth like that. And basically, if the game is exclusive on on any of those platforms, I simply will refuse to play them.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
even if I have to download it, as an extra.
Yeah.
Simple as
Well,
that.
and
And it's gonna be exactly the same for PlayStation. So,
in conclusion, the PlayStation going third party, going into PC, I think, I really think that their app is going to be more of a day one. All our games are here, come here. That's what's going to try to entice PC players to like leave Steam and go to the PlayStation launcher. Meanwhile, Steam waits for the games to come out a year later or whatnot, whatever the hell they plan on doing. I think that's what they're probably gonna do. That's my prediction for that. For the app. I think
yeah.
the best thing to do is what Xbox does. We release everything everywhere. That's where you're gonna make the most money if you want your money right now. Or if you want to hold your money, then go ahead, hold your money, because you're not gonna nobody's gonna pay for it. Like the same thing they had problem with Helldivers in other countries that can't sign into the PSN. And I'm pretty sure they're gonna go in with that PSN sign in, because they want your data, and they want you to sign in, and they want to count how many players are playing their app or whatever. So it's gonna be a bit of it's gonna be funny to watch, and we're gonna laugh and see that app progress. Um, if there's a game that I want to play, and they have it on that app, and there's nowhere else I can play it, because I'm at towards the end. I am looking forward to not being on console anymore, right? I'm looking forward to just going straight PC eventually. I'm not getting the PS6. I'm not getting the next Xbox. I think I just stick with my PC and just work from there, and whatever I have, I'll keep. But it's going to be very interesting to see that app progress, and people clicking on that instead of clicking on Steam just to play one game that they have that they want to hold on to dear life. But I think, like I said, their next step is their exclusivity. Next step is it's gonna get really, really small, and I think that they won't last that long. It will be like 6 months maybe for it to come to PC immediately, for the time being, and for whatever games they have coming out soon, you know.
Yes, who knows? Maybe they will also implement the same subscription practice that Xbox doing.
Yeah,
That you were
yeah,
subscribing, because if anything, I believe that that's the way Xbox and its gaming division is still kicking. It's because
yeah,
of that exact subscription service. And I'm not sure if there's any successful strategy for someone like PlayStation, the console owning
yeah.
platform, to have to use accept the subscription type service, because that's the only way I suppose they gonna make their returns in
Yeah.
that sense.
Well, yeah. Yeah, PlayStation and Xbox at third party and going at it. Console wars is over, thank the Lord. Let's just see what they bring next. What I just see the lineup with PlayStation not looking so good, and Xbox looking well, because they bought everybody out. So they're they're basically coming out with a game
Yes,
almost every month, because they own
and that's why
everybody.
that that's what PlayStation should have done,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they
yeah.
did try it, back in the day when they were buying, everyone was buying
It didn't do
every
it didn't do
out
so
there.
well with Bungie, did they with that?
Yeah,
That strategy
they
didn't go so
definitely
well.
didn't.
But we're gonna get into that in the next segue. So yeah, tell us what you guys think about the PlayStation. Where's it at now? Where's it going? Third party. What do you guys think about it? Leave the comment down below. Give us a like. Give us subscribe, guys. We're trying our best. We're doing what we got to do. We're going to keep bringing you guys more content. We're going to talk about the next segue right now. Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for watching and listening.
Later.